Hi everybody, hi Tamar. Today we're going to talk about A Song of Ice and Fire and real-life conspiracies, right? There are many Game of Thrones theories out there about just about anything, and many of them are kind of conspiratorial, right?
Conspiracy is about usually the similar story. Few powerful men, usually they are men, gather together and decide like a long-term strategy.
Like in a dark room,
In a dark
smoke-filled room.
with cigars,
Right.
and of course, they hide it from everyone
Right.
else, except from smart people with internet.
Okay. With a lot of time.
Yeah.
So we think that we know why a certain thing happened, but we don't know that behind the scenes, powerful people that are very active have made this happen, so nothing is a coincidence.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to some real conspiracies in the story, right? Like the biggest example is, of course, the Red Wedding.
Tywin, with the help of Bolton and the Freys,
Right? Conspired.
conspire together to murder Robb Stark and
And his mother and family.
his mother family and take the north from them.
Yeah, and Bolton got to be warden of the north, and Frey, so like they all had reason to do it.
Yeah.
And there was the killing of Joffrey's assassination.
Yeah, it was a conspiracy as well between, we guess, Littlefinger
Because of the
and
show.
Lady Olenna
Right.
that wanted to depose Joffrey. We have the Dornish conspiracy as well, which is a spoiler to the show, so we'll not say it.
Like they have like a 25-year plan, and the Maesters also is like in the books we get that they had a conspiracy, but that also hasn't really been revealed on the show. But if you want to know more about the Maesters, you can click here. This is a great video. This is the ultimate Maesters theory.
Yeah, and the number one YouTuber out there that has created all these great conspiracy stories
Right.
is Preston Jacobs,
Right.
which is doing an incredible job.
Like the Northern conspiracy, the Pink Letter conspiracy.
The Maester conspiracy,
Okay, let's go to some real world, real historical conspiracies. Like
the CIA toppled in Central and South America a few governments, popular
Right.
government like in Chile.
in democratically elected
Yeah,
governments.
Yeah, and in Iran, in the 50s, this guy called Mossadegh elected democratically.
And he was a socialist, right?
He was a socialist. He wanted to nationalize the oil companies. The intelligence agencies of the United States and Britain toppled him and put on the throne this Shah, which is a king who was very pro-Western and pro-corporate. Yeah.
Pro corporations, okay. The most obvious example in the popular culture, that's of course JFK.
Yeah. The official version is that he was gunned down by a lone gunman. With not that
very
sense.
believable?
I don't know.
Not very believable?
I don't know. But
Didn't you watch the movie? That's it?
I watched the
Game,
movie.
set, match.
Immediately after that, they started to talk. He couldn't have done it himself, and with the grassy knoll and the magic bullet.
And he couldn't shoot that quickly and then get down the stairs that quickly without anybody seeing him because there was somebody going up the stairs.
Yeah, so because people don't understand it, like you, so they start to tell stories that some
Which
of
are
them
true.
Some of them make sense, some of them are completely.
Of course. I'm not saying that I know what happened, but I don't know. After Lee Harvey Oswald killed him, then he got murdered when he said that he was a patsy, and his murderer was then in turn also killed. That's a little bit suspicious.
I'm not saying no, like definite no, but that's the problem with conspiracies because it creates more questions than answers usually. If you want like a proper conspiracy, like the people are gathering secretly together, and they have a certain goal. Is 9/11 the 9/11 conspiracy?
So you're also a truther, like with his passport that magically got flown in the air and preserved after the towers fell off and building number 7. Yeah. I hear you, man.
What are you talking about? A few people got together.
Bush, right?
No, Al Qaeda.
Cheney?
Al Qaeda. They planned in advance, and they planted all these people that took out a flying license and sent them to America, and then on a specific date. All together. This is
and take the planes to pre-decided spots.
This was a very successful conspiracy. There are a lot of problems with conspiracies, especially like something like 9/11, which is recent, very recent, and a lot of time has passed, like at least 10 years, and no one came forth and said something.
I was part of a conspiracy.
I'm part of a conspiracy, or someone told me, and that, you know.
Right.
And then about the moon landing, some claims that Stanley Kubrick directed it. It's totally nonsense. 50 years have gone by, and no, like you need thousands of scientists and technicians. They're all part of it, and they kept the code of silence till today.
Do you remember the Black Mirror first episode when they tried to film the Prime Minister and it was leaked like 2 seconds after it started because somebody would leak it because it's worth a lot of money.
We are a pattern-seeking species. In evolutionary terms, we are supposed to live in small communities of 50, 100 people. So when we judge
complex
events, especially painful events, something that you have to find some reason because it's painful, then you see some kind of pattern. And because you know that everything works in a way that 50 people or a very small group of people decides everything, because this is how we are programmed.
It's easier. Okay. So if you go back to the story for a moment, for example, the killing of Ned, we know that it was actually a random event and that there was no conspiracy. But his family thinks that this was a conspiracy between Tywin and Cersei and Joffrey, whatever. So that goes to your point.
Yeah, and people used to explain themselves the painful things in history by looking for some secret agent.
Right.
It could be demons or angels or Jews, you know, and it could be the lizard people or the Illuminati, some clandestine group that no one hears about with special codes, Freemasons, etc., etc. It's something very human, and especially something very American, because Americans have this
we love you, Americans.
Yeah, America is great, number one, in conspiracy theories. Americans have this natural or cultural mistrust towards the government, something very American.
Like the FBI, the CIA.
Yeah, the birth of the nation came from mistrust of the monarch, of government, and all their culture, like, God, the government's trying to take my stuff and to take my guns. In my view, if you want to make a successful conspiracy, it have to, first of all, a very, very, very few people needs to know about it, but everyone that knows about it can do something about it. Like,
what do you mean?
I mean, like, you can't plan something like 9/11 and don't tell it to the engineers that are blowing the buildings, or the camera crews or whatever. Like 10 people needs to know about it. So in order for it to work, the target and the thing you need you want to accomplish need to be very short term, like a short term strategy.
Like with a finite number of variables.
Yeah, exactly.
That you can control. Okay, so this is a great setup for this video's ball prediction. So cue ball prediction. Do you have a ball prediction regarding a future conspiracy that has yet to happen, that will unfold in the next 2 books?
I think that Tyrion will conspire against Daenerys. And will be part of her downfall in some way after he will make her trust him.
Because he will realize that maybe Sansa is a better queen than
and
Daenerys.
We know she will be betrayed. We know that.
So the character that we most love would betray another greatly loved character.
In order
that's painful.
Yeah, in order to achieve a short-term objective, which is to bring someone else on the throne.
That's very bitter in the bittersweet. Okay, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I have another bold prediction about a current real conspiracy against the people.
What's that?
That is the TPP agreement. That's like the Trans-Pacific Partnership. This is a trade agreement that the leaders of some countries met in a closed room because they have to meet somewhere. And you can't really know the details of this agreement because they're secret. And they basically say that the reason that it's secret is because if it was out in the open, people wouldn't like it. So they have to hide it. And why don't we hear about it every day in the mainstream media, maybe this is also a conspiracy because the mainstream media everywhere is in itself a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
I think it's only a diversion from the real issues here.
Okay.
And that's a terrible conspiracy.
Okay.
And the whole internet
Right.
is a conspiracy by cats
By cats?
to control our minds. They are
Wow.
the cat people. Because think about it, before the internet, everyone hated cats. Everyone. 99% of the people hated cats.
I hated
Suddenly,
cats.
internet, everyone loved cat. Coincidence? I don't think so.
Okay, so everybody, if you have another conspiracy, real conspiracy that you think that exists today, you can mention in the comments. Again, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do that if you click the link. That would be awesome. Of course, check out our Facebook page and Twitter account. We have some pretty cool content there, not just Game of Thrones. And subscribe to get our next video. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
There are entities that are anything but human who have been manipulating this reality, this world, for eons. It's very, very similar in theme to what these Illuminati bloodlines have been bred for. Some people call them the serpent race, some people call them demonic.